We, the citizens of Cape Town, are deeply unhappy with the housing situation in the city. We are from Crossroad, Delft, Guguletu, Happy Valley, Khayelitsha, Park, and Vrygrond. Over the last weeks, many of us have been protested on the street about our various grievances. And we speak for many more who feel the same way and have not yet protested. There is a housing crisis in the province and the city. In the city, the official housing back is 260,000, but only 4,000 housing opportunities were created in 2004. The government spends on costly weapons, but is stingy when it comes to people's needs. At the rate housing is going up in the city, it will take more than 20 or 30 years to overcome the present backlog, by which time the population will have increased.
With this film, we try to introduce to all our members and comrades in the Western Cape, out of the Western Cape and even abroad, so that they can see the different challenges and different struggles we have here in South Africa. Therefore, they will introduce more of the comrades who will come forward and talk about different issues, because of we have different issues on the table, which is we are busy to talking about now. Right. My name is Jonathan Zolisa. I'm from Vrygrond Action Committee, and we started in 2002, whereby we see there is a lot of houses who are standing empty, no people inside, and then the people try get into occupy those houses. But what happens is, and then we start to form this Vrygrond Action Committee after we occupy those houses, and then we let to go to the anti-eviction campaign, and we ask them a couple of advices, and then they advise us a lot with a lot of things, and then when they are finished to advise us, and then we started to go to the other areas and try to find out in the other areas what is their problems, because some of the problems is related to ours, because they also striking for water, houses, and electricity. So we did go to these places and see that these things link together. So we always we try to get always together and meet together, and at the end we started to form a sort of a unity whereby we can work together as different committees, and then when we finish to do this, we work together as different committees. We decided on a march, and then even on that march we work together hand in hand with the other areas, and then after the march, we still continue talking about these issues, because these issues are not away from us, they're still there.
I'm from Indymedia South Africa. I'm also from an organization called Delft Community Development and Concerned Residents in Delft, which are affiliated to the Anti-Eviction Campaign. And we are presently in Delft South. These are one of the show houses that government built in 95-96, which people moved in 97 in here. So the house cost 18,500 at that time, which is not on a foundation. And as you can see, the cracks and all that, and the newspapers that they also put in for the hole, so they never fixed it properly. But they expect people to live in here. Okay.
Can you say again the material it's built from?
Asbestos. And the whole house is like 26 sheets that they use to for the house, you know.
Can you go on, explain?
Okay, this is a, they call it a type of a windy house, which is thin metal plate that they use, and the toilets are very small, you know. All of the houses' toilets are very small because it's like a meter toilet, that type of thing. So this house also costs the same amount as the asbestos. And also with some of them got foundation, some of them don't have foundation. Some of them, as you can see, the houses is so poorly built that it's not livable, you know. But as people don't have anywhere else to go, so this is the last option that they would take. And people refused to live in here. So then like the government said, look, if you're not going to move in, then we're going to take your name off the waiting list. And so people decided, look, move in, because if they're going to be off the waiting list, then how long, you know, they're going to get, maybe take for a house. People have been paying other people for rent, maybe live in other people's houses, that type of thing, or in their backyards, which is maybe a worse, not worse condition, but they felt that they needed something that they can say, okay, they are owning it, and to improve their living condition. But there's no privacy also if you're a married couple, because everybody is sleeping in one room, in one section of the house, which is, if you have kids, you have to share with that, and that's also where abuse and that sort of things comes in. So, we spoke to the director of housing that time, Mr. Seymour Pedersen. I specifically told him, like, look, government is saying that everybody has a right to a house. So then he in turn told me, yes, everybody does have a right to a house, but it doesn't state which type of a house that you are right to, you know. So there's a catch-22 if you're saying in the Constitution it says everybody's got a right to a house. So where do you draw the line?
I'm a community activist since 2002. And well, in February 1998, I received 4 lawyers' letters about the areas. And I went to court and they told me that if I don't pay it in 7 days' time, then I'll be arrested. And I told them that I'm not working and there's no money any money that's coming into me. And so how much should I pay it? So they just told me that I must pay it. So, and then I asked if I've got to go to the R300 road to go and have get some sickness or things like that just to pay them. And they just laughed at me and they let me go, and they never sent me any lawyers' letters after that again. And we are just fighting about the areas. They must scrap all the areas and they must give us an equal amount which we're supposed to pay. But I don't think that it's fair of them for letting us pay rates and things like that, which is the houses are not completely. The doors are, my door is falling apart, my wall is falling, it's getting cracks outside and inside. When it's raining, then the whole house gets wet inside, and that's all sickness. And I'm a high blood sufferer, and I'm an arthritis sufferer, and all those things. When it's cold, then my whole body's aching and all those things. So I would like that they must scrap all those areas and things like that.
Desmond Klutter from the DCD, Delft Community Development. I'm living here in Delft South now for almost eight and a half years, since '97. And the concerns of our organization is especially the transparency of the waiting list on the identity houses. Not actually the identity houses, but in future, where they must get the community involved with drawing up waiting lists and that. Because what happened in the past was they had community involved, or some of the organizations involved, but still the council, they did their own thing with drawing up their own lists, and then the community had no input in the waiting list. That's the main concern of our organization.
My name is Ashley Lowe. I'm part of the concerned residents of Delft. Basically, what we have done is we are a community-based organization, whereby we are focusing at this point in time on housing, and we have various members of residents of Delft tonight. We need to discuss a plan of action. How do we going to address our plight in terms of housing? The organization also focuses on job creation and skill training. That is basically where we are. As Delft is a diverse community, which means Xhosa speaking and Afrikaans speaking. So we are also focusing on unification. So that is basically our focus area as a group.
I'm Kathleen Williams. I stay in Eindhoven, Delft. I'm a community worker from Concerned Residents. It's an NGO. The reason that we went on that march is because of the lack of housing and the lack of jobs. So we decided that we're going to do a peaceful demonstration, because the government say it's all right to strike, it's all right to make a noise, and we have a whole lot of rights, you know. And it's so funny. Last week they celebrated the Freedom Charter, but in the meantime, if you protest or you do something about it, the government put restrictions on your actions. But unluckily for me, I couldn't go on the march because I had flu. But the other people that went on the march, can tell you what the march was all about and the feeling they had. But me myself, I also have a lot of problems. I'm unemployed. I'm a mom of 4. And I'm on the waiting list for more than 8 years now. And I'm staying in somebody else's house. And I'm renting, and I must pay a whole lot of rent, where the owner don't even pay water. She don't pay rates. Then every time I have lawyers on my back, and I'm struggling to get hold of the owner. So it's a real problem. And you saw my small house here, earlier on. In that house, I must cook. I must sleep in that small square. I must raise 4 children. There's no privacy. My eldest son is on high school. There's not even space for him to study. So most of the time he's in Mitchell's Plain at my mom's place, because there's hardly place. We don't have money to extend. So what we're busy now, we're busy with a cheap window house thingy, a wood thingy that we're putting up. So we must because I don't have a job, I must char here and do casual jobs here and then to earn money. And most of the people here are unemployed, and it's a real struggle from day to day to go about things. So most of us have casual jobs, or have char jobs. You must really sometimes but I don't think to be poor also to make excuse of that, because for me a thing is that to be poor in mind also, it's a real struggle. So what we're busy doing now is we educating also the public and the community, that they must be rich in spirit and rich in knowledge, because if they know what's going on around them, then they know that they can fight and do something about to change their circumstances.
Maria Stierman. I'm staying 9 Berry Road. I had a problem with my window. The wind blows it and it breaks and it's rotten. We can't fix it because I'm not working. I'm just child and I'm not owning a well salary. And it's just for food what I'm working for. But we want better houses. We can't live in these places because we're not safe in these places. Because the scholars can also come in and they can come and take all our things out of our houses.
Lorraine Abrams, I stay 65 Peter Road, Capricorn. I just want to ask that people in the backyard, they must get houses. Because yes, many people without houses, it stays on people's properties here. And people that stays in other people's houses, they also must move out. Let the owners of the house can move in there. That's all that I can say. Thanks very much.
There, I'm Nazima Aris from Vrygrond Committee. I would like the people, all the women in South Africa, must see the situation of the Women's League Committee. Thank you.
I'm Landy. I stay in Capricorn. I'm fighting for justice for the toilets. That they can build better toilets for I&I in this congregation. And I think the more people here in Capricorn come together as one, we must fight Babylon in this short time. And I burn them down.
Our demand is Vrygrond Action Committee. We demand that the council must present a plan for housing for all with specific time frames. What we also demand is that the council must publish a list of all the land it owes, because the land belongs to us. And in the previous apartheid government in the region, there wasn't a specific owner of Vrygrond. Vrygrond belongs to the people, but now the council want to take it away because of the strategies that they utilize against the people of Vrygrond. Now what we demand is that the council must come forward and don't sell our land to business people, which is, they lie to us by saying that they will employ 60% of our people, which didn't happen over the years, because they implemented a business park, they implemented a shopping complex, and there's agreement between that particular management of Capricorn Park and Vrygrond that they will employ 60% of our people in Vrygrond, but it doesn't happen. They take people from outside Vrygrond, which we find it very problematic for the fact that they do that, because according to us as the Vrygrond Action Committee, they didn't, they didn't stick to their agreement, and for us it's a breach of agreement. That's why we want the council on board so that we can try and rectify this particular issue of the land and the issue of employment, because we need to create jobs. We need to upgrade our living standards, the living standards of the grassroots level and of the third class people, and also we need to provide them with the necessary skills, in Vrygrond, because there's a lot of people who are easy literate, and there's a lot of people who rely on other people, which we want them to rely on themselves. But in terms of facilities, there's no necessary facilities and resources for us to do so, because of a lack of interest from the government's point of view, and because of a lack of interest from Capricorn, from the council, and all the lies that they put forward to the people. And we are sick and tired of that. Right, thank you.
Hello, I'm Miriam Balweni. I'm staying at Vrygrond. I'm in the organization called Vrygrond Action Committee. We started this organization in 2001. I'm also a leader of the women's group. So in this leadership, we want the women's voice, because in every organization, they undermine women's. There's no more voice of women's. So in every organization, the men's are on top. So we demand the voice of the women's in our organization.
Later, I'm from Vrygrond. I've been staying in Vrygrond from 2003. Since then, I've been staying in a backyard. So, and that is not a good life. Anyway, what I like to say to the government: no privatization. Privatization, it's not good, because people have been forced to pay a lot of money from the service of water and electricity, which is they don't even have. I demand it from the government. We are sick and tired of privatization. They must stop it now. No more prepaid water meters, no more prepaid electricity. That is not good at all, because the poor are suffering from that. Water is for free water for everybody. Anyway, water is from heaven. Why do we have to pay water? And I believe we do need to have free electricity every month, because we do pay for the electricity. So what? Why not? Fuck the prepaid water meters. And we are really sick and tired. I demand it now.
My name is Mzonke, my surname is Pony, and I am living at QQ section. I am also part of the concerned community, and also part of the executive committee. Yeah, basically the actual problem that we are facing at QQ section is whereby, like, you'll find out most of our activists are being harassed by the police with the aims of trying to criminalize us because they want to shut us down. And basically, like, what we are saying here is that is not good and that is not fair, because the failure for the government to deliver services for the poor, that should not be like excused by being like criminalized people. And that is not going to stop us anyway, because we are still going to continue and fight for our right, because that is our constitutional right. The South African Constitution, it says that each and every citizen have got a right to basic services, as well as also the Freedom Charter vouch for that, if there shall be houses, security and comfort for all. And whenever people are fighting for those rights, and that is like a genuine struggle, and what we are saying to the police, they must stop criminalizing our comrades.
My name is Nolosen Songola. I'm from QQ section. There at the QQ section, we have the problem of the issue of the housing, because it's everyone's lives now. We are having the problem so that there we are living in the bad conditions, which are not conducive for the human's health. So we like to join with our other informal settlement, if they can come and join us to voice out our issues, because it's not the issues of QQ section, it's the issues of everyone who living in the informal settlement. Whatever you're living in the Ocean View, you're living in the Valhalla Park, you're living in the Boys Down, you're living in the other areas which are located with the informal settlement.
Okay, yeah. Look at this one. It's totally surrounded by water. It's more or less an island in water. Truly inconducive situations where these people live. So we're trying to illustrate that to the government, but it fails to understand. And we plead with the municipality, we plead with the ministers to come and have a look on their own. Maybe if they see the reality, then they'll have different attitudes and different minds. All this is what we are trying to show. So, and also, this N2 gateway, the way the people perceive it is that it is facial, in the sense that the way they proposed it, They came with the concept only because there was the argument of the World Cup. So it wasn't really because they wanted to face the needs of the people, but they want to create a good impression of South Africa, that the conditions are conducive, they are very good for the people. But that's not the true sense. It's more like washing your face and not coming into the armpits and the rest of your body. So that's not really washing your body when you do so. It's clearly taking out of the facial expression. Basically, what we are saying is the people, we don't want to vote if there is no land, if there are no houses made for these people. Because the real essence why we vote is because we want services, we want delivery to the people, we want delivery to the poor. And this is what the state is not doing. It is not addressing those needs. What we see from the state officials is that they are self-sustaining themselves, which is what we call as corruption. So basically what we need is the focus should be on the people on the ground. It should be on the poor. When these people come out canvassing for voting, they speak of the poor. They speak of services to those ones on the ground. But in reality, they don't address those. We don't see them being honest and sincere about it. Since afterwards, after the votes, they forget about these poor. So they are lying. They come up with lip service promises which are empty to the people. So we fail to understand that.
QQ section inside Khayelitsha. We are here in court on behalf of our comrade. He was caught without reason because we complaining about our houses. The place we stay is not really nice because we haven't got toilets, got no water, we got no electricity. So we're struggling there and we don't want the violence, but the police are after us. So we just try to stop that. They must leave us because we're not fighting, we just need our houses.
My name is Nelly Bomvana. I'm based in Kwezi and I anti-eviction campaign in Khayelitsha. We like to join this thing is happening here because what is happening is affecting all of us. As we know that the whole Western Cape is having the same problem, especially the colored areas and also the black areas. So what we want to do the big thing whereby we think the government is going to know how to take care of everything and see that everyone is crying of the same thing. Like where I'm staying, we're having the bond houses. We also get evicted every day and people get arrested every day. So what we want the support. That's why we do come to the other communities when they came to the court so that we can also get that support from them. So what I want to say is, in everything that is happening, that of evicting the people, we have different stories, but we have the common thing in all the things that are happening. We want the government to take care of us because we did vote for them. And where are they today? They are there because of us. So,
and if we don't receive these houses, and also in return, they are not going to receive our vote. And we are going to continue saying if there is no land, or there is no house, and there is no vote as well. And if it means let us make this country to become ungovernable, we are going to do so. And if it means let us go back as from today to the freeway again and barricade that very busy freeway, we are going to do so. We are not going to... If it means let us start at the Lansdowne Road, we are going to do that, my comrade.
Now.
Yes.
Now.
Okay, we need to, yeah. No, Gaga.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.